almost 29 years ago. I remember because I was pregnant with my daughter. We worked at Heritage Publishing Company together. When I first met Opal, she just had a way of, like a magnet, people just flocked to Opal. They were just drawn to her. She had one son named Danny, and he lived in Texas, and he had a gun accident. Opal went through a really depressed time during that, of course. She wouldn't, you know, it was her only child. She went through a time where she went about 4 or 5 days without even able to speak. They said that she was in some type of shock or something, but she was always remained pretty strong other than that one. But she's had a lot of hardships between husbands that were very sick and disabled that she took care of. And then herself in '95 began battling with cancer herself. 5 years ago, I had gone through some of my own bad choices and decisions. I was out of God's will. And through that, went into such a deep, deep, dark depression. I got to where I'd venture out just to her store. I just had my safe places I felt like I could go. And so I went to Hilda's store, and lo and behold, this little woman comes up that's gray-headed by now. She was real black-headed when we worked together, but it was Opal. And I knew I recognized her, and so I asked her name, and so then she remembered me as well, and we just really hit it off. And Hilda told me, she said, Denise, after Opal left, she said, Denise, you know, you're never going to get out of this depression on your own. She said, God's going to have to help you, but the way He's going to help you is that you need to minister to someone else. So anyway, Opal and I just started, I would get up and take her to the doctor. Sometimes I'd still stay in bed until time for her doctor appointment. But then through the years, she became my family. I mean, Opal loved to have fun. Mitch teased her about, you know, how long it took her to eat. And she said, Mitch, you're going to get old one of these days, and then you'll remember. And he said, Opal, I'm going to get old right here waiting on you to finish. So, anyway, but she loved to have fun, and she loved for you to pick at her too. She always looked at us as family, but I think that she knew that by blood we weren't, you know, and she was real worried about, she didn't want to die alone. And I promised her, I said, Opal, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but if God will let me, I promise you won't have to be alone. You know, she used to tell me all the time too, Denise, I don't know how I can pay you and Mitch back for all you've done for me. And she never understood, but I finally got to talk to her about it. She never understood, though, for a long time that she was the giver. I mean, you know, she absolutely rescued my life. I mean, she did. Opal rescued my life, and I'm still indebted to her. That night, I was really tired because I'd been up a couple nights, you know, with her, and I told Mitch, and I told Opal, they told us to always talk to her because she could hear. That hearing was the last to go. And I just told her, I said, Opal, I'm going to go on back here in your bedroom and rest for a little while, but Mitch is here. He's right on your other side holding your hand, and I'll get up after a while and visit with you some more. So then I told Mitch, I said, you know, let me know if I need to get up. And this was like at 10:30 at night. Well, by 11 o'clock, Mitch, I mean, I felt like I just closed my eyes. And Mitch came in and he said, Denise, if you want to see this thing to the end, I think it's time. Going to the grocery store, I would see old people struggling to reach into the buggy to get their groceries and put them on the counter, you know, to pay for the groceries. And so anyway, I mean, it took 2 or 3 minutes for me to pile those up there where it would have taken them forever, you know. Something I wanted to do was somehow start a ministry of helping the elderly, because I realized what God had showed me was that when I took my focus off of me and my woe is me attitude and that depression, when I focused it somewhere else and helping someone else, and all of a sudden it's like, where was that? I don't even recognize the person that I used to be. She was always giving, and it's really kind of weird to me. She's giving right now. You know, she gave her whole life. I showed you a room where she had gifts galore to give people, and she's giving right now. You know, you always talk about foster children in the church and fosters being adopted. Well, Opal's name is Opal Foster. So I thought, well, you know, when we get old, we kind of resort back to being like a child that needs help, you know, and needs assistance, needs help getting dressed, needs food, needs meals cooked for them. So that's where we've come up with the name elderly foster care.